Hello everyone, this is Sean and welcome back to episode number 10 of our Let's Try Production Line series. Production Line is an early alpha game. It today upgraded to alpha 1.04. That's right, we've got a new alpha. It's supposed to improve the way that our cars here choose the lane that they're going to go down. It added a couple little improvements to the overall just flow of the game. There's the ability, let's see, we have the ability to paint our cars a little bit faster. Not that we're really hurting for that or anything, but we may as well. I thought that was supposed to be, oh, I guess we'll probably have to research it before we can implement it. But high pressure painting is a new option. There we go, high pressure paint nozzles. And hopefully we'll be able to, I guess we haven't, have we studied up on getting those valves in, the valve production? I don't know if we want to do valve production, actually. So you know what, let's not worry about it. I think there's also a thing that they did where you can only see an option if you can improve it. So we have anti-lock brakes. Let's go to, but you know what, that's not really going to help anything because, so here we can see the anti-lock brakes. But we're gonna, so what I think happens is this upgrades box only shows if you have optional upgrades, but we're gonna have robots in like all of these things as an optional upgrade, and we're not gonna have robots installed either. So although it will only show this option when we have analog brakes available here, for example, we're always gonna have those robots available, so it's not gonna speed things up at all, which is too bad. We probably ought to break the steering. I'm surprised we don't have that available yet to break the steering down into two. We do have, oh, steering column and steering wheel. So do we already have, oh, and we've already got that broken down too. Wow, that is a really slow process. Well, let's definitely get those robots installed here. Oh, I haven't researched them either. Yikes. All right. But it looks like that is not the case for whether those things are going to show up or not, because it's still showing up even though we've gotten everything available installed. So that's too bad. Oh well, that's all right though. We'll be fine. It's weird that tire came here and then disappeared. And that seat. Why did it bring a seat to the fit steering wheel section? That was a little bizarre too. Let's watch for that. And that tire is like fully, or is that a wheel? Like an oversized wheel? Why is it bringing wheels and seats and stuff to there? That's bizarre behavior. I will, now look, it's bringing all sorts of those things to, I guess it's bringing them here makes sense because it's going to drop them off where they belong, actually on this line. And over here could be taking them to one of the areas that they should be going to, the little stockpile here maybe, or I don't know. We'll not worry too much about that. How are we doing on overcoming our backlog? Well, we've got this side of the backlog flowing real smooth. Unfortunately, this side is not flowing so smooth. So let's worry about getting that one done, but let's keep building up these accessories till we upgrade our car models. So we have insufficient resources at this station, and that is definitely taking a little bit of time to get there because it has a long ways to go. I don't really see any way to tighten it up though. We could boost the robot speed, I suppose. That might help. It's funny because shouldn't it only take, I guess it takes 5 windows. I don't know that there's going to be any shorter path to get those parts in. You know what? Actually, this path will be shorter because all this line does is bring paint in right now. So we're going to delete that, and we will connect up with this one down here, and this should definitely speed up the process of getting those pieces in. because paint is pretty steady, but you know, we can get the windows in very steady as well. I guess that servo is probably for the automatic windows. That would make sense. That's probably why we're running out of windows as well, because it needs to leave room for those servos and leave room for those servos. Now, it is really slow to import. You'd think that as soon as like it would get to 5 windows, as soon as it gets that next car. Yeah, why isn't it asking for more windows? You can see that there's 5 open spots in there, and it's not trying to import more windows to make up for it. So that seems like perhaps a little glitch in that setup there. You'd think when it goes down to 9 windows that it would want to bring in more. I could cut a little bit of the weight out by putting in a stockpile there, maybe. Let's just fill this thing up with windows. Go, and we'll put. Actually, let's not fill it up entirely. You can go up to 36, right? So let's go to 28, and then we will add paint in there as well. Now, are there multiple kinds of paint, or is it just one? If I went in alphabetical order, that would really help. I guess there's only the one, so we'll add 8 paint in there and 28 windows, and maybe that will speed things up a little bit. I don't know what those little things are. Is that must be wing mirrors? Insufficient resources. Oh, it's got to be those servos. So, you know, we probably ought to throw some servos in here too. Servo. There we are. Very good. Let's see if that helps. I like the hotkeys for the speed adjustment. That's real handy. Alright, now it seems like it's keeping it full on parts, a little fuller on parts, but it's still not bringing in any of those servos. Like, we got those servos sitting in here, and it's not calling them over here. I wonder why it's... Yeah, something's going on there, which is pretty frustrating, because that's what's slowing down our whole line here. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade the robots, see if that helps. It's not going to make, it shouldn't be what makes any difference, but we'll do it anyways. And because this is it's a pretty fast process as it is. But look at that, man, we are jam-packed on cars. I love it. Jam-packed all the way up to the almost all the way up to the end. Now this one line is running a little faster, but they are all jam-packed up as soon as you get past the painting area. So even if we do manage to get the flow, like, I'm all worried about trying to get this thing to flow through a little faster, when in reality it doesn't make any difference, because we won't be able to get the cars through any faster, even if we do get a better flow of the goods in there. But it's a little annoying to have that kind of unbalance. I really like to have things balanced. We're getting close to having this safety feature tree filled up, and then we will go through and upgrade our line. Let's throw in some more power plants. Oh, I do want to say, I don't know if the developer is watching my videos. He's probably not. I'm sure he's got much better things to do and like more popular videos to watch. But I did notice that he implemented some of the suggestions that I left on his board. Maybe other people left them too, but like, you can hit escape to make that disappear, which is fantastic. The hotkeys for the speed adjustments, I did ask for that, and I really like that. I didn't ask for this, but I do like this. Wow, boy, it updates like immediately, doesn't it? So running and waiting for vehicle are the biggest slowdowns here. Waiting for line, but very little waiting for resources, so I like to see that. And I bet you almost all of that is that one Windows section. What is the cyan? Waiting for line? I wonder what that waiting for line... Probably up in here. Now, I don't like that these are insufficient resources when we have all these resources in these stockpiles here. Why is it? And then it's still doing that thing where it stacks up the stuff like double too. So there definitely is something not working right with the resource stockpile. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do that, which takes a screenshot, so I can take a screenshot of it. Of course, by the time I took a screenshot of it, it had cleared itself out. So surely we have another stockpile where I can show that behavior. Still getting insufficient resources with the valves here, which is annoying considering the effort that we've put into keeping valves around. And it doesn't seem to make much of a difference between the two lines, the one where we have this stockpile and this one where we don't have a stockpile. We seem to get the insufficient resources for the same amount of time on either one of them. Luckily it doesn't seem to be causing too much of a problem, although this one does seem to be slightly more waiting for resources than this one. So we can't have multiple things open. I guess we could, oh gosh. You know, we have enough money, we may as well. But like, you know, you can see it right here. But it's almost pointless to have that stockpile in there. Let's go ahead and put it in there anyways. We are looking at supply stockpile. Let's rotate it, put it at the closest possible spot. Let's say that, I don't even know which one is the line that the things are on, but I think it's this one. We're gonna change that to valves. There we go. And 36 is the magic number. And hopefully that will, there you go, it's going to fill it up, and then hopefully it will empty out and maybe keep the maybe keep this a little fuller so we can get cars through a little faster. It doesn't take very long to install them, so I don't really, there's not a whole lot of point in doing the robot upgrade. Look at this, we have cleared the backstock on our cars. Let's get those high pressure paint nozzles going. I know we're in the middle of some other research, but we're gonna change that around. And we're still using more power than we're generating, so we should generate additional power. It's a good investment. And let's throw one more down there. Should have us covered for now, but we'll probably need some other ones. You know what? Let's just throw another one down just to be safe. There we go. Great, so that's looking good. Insufficient resources on this paint thing too, huh? Where you really have a long route. Oh, I see. So you don't just service the paint and blood. Now, why is this? So that's clearly something's not right there. Let's take a screenshot of that, because it's got way more than 10 paint in there, and it also has a bunch of stuff stacked on top of each other. So something's not going right with that one, and we still have insufficient resources like forever in this line. Jeez, it is not getting anything in there. I love how we're getting so many cars through our line, and I'm worried about these minor slowdowns. Alright. Our tire and brake and stuff seems to be going faster without having that stockpile there than it did when we had the stockpile there. So I'm not gonna bother setting that stockpile back up to where it's running at a high efficiency again. Come on, get those windows. know anywhere that I could get it to where it's going to get him in there any faster. I could, well, I can't quite run a whole new line in there anyways, even if I wanted to. And I can't run a new line over into here either. I suppose what I could do is open this area up, run this line up to cover some of these things. Wow. Wow, we have cleared through all the painting. And it's not a matter of we have a bunch of cars lined up waiting to be painted. This thing is just killing us. Let's go ahead and combine those lines so at least we can have some of those cars going over there if it comes down to that. Conveyor, you go up like that. There you go, and you go like that. Very good. So now cars from either station can make it over into this one. And, well, wait. That was weird. For some reason it connected up right here as well. I mean, the cars aren't going to go up here, and it doesn't seem to be a problem that it's connected right there, but it looks weird, that's for sure. All right, let's put on those high pressure paint nozzles, and that should speed things up a little bit. Although it didn't seem to speed it up that much. 7.9 to 7.18, so it shaves 0.8 of a second off. I guess it's a 10% increase. Over here, we're not able to keep resources in, but I'm gonna upgrade them anyways. It's cheap. Upgrades, choose, buy. There we go. And we're gonna close that out. We're gonna close that out. Research complete. Again, we have one more research to do. Lane departure warning and research now. Very good. And then we'll be able to get those installed on our various things. So everything's looking good through these areas. Now we are backing up through here on both lines. Now the problem is you know, because we have everything being switched back and forth between these multiple paint stations, well, I guess several problems. One is that we're running out of paint, which is weird considering that we have this paint stockpile down here, and like it's not bringing in any resources, even though, you know, we've got all sorts of resources. What's going on? Why is it not even showing that there's a demand for those resources? Ugh. Clear you out. Like, you can see that these are insufficient resources up here, and there's no demand on the paint. You know, why isn't it bringing in, it should be filling that thing up to 16. How many paint, it only uses one jug to paint a car, yet I can't keep those things full. I think now that we've emptied out, oh, look at that, this thing's damn full at least. Now that the cars are starting to pile up a little bit. Well, the directional thing didn't necessarily seem to be fixed the way you would expect, because watch, this is empty. Okay, well, car went in there immediately that time. Well, it seemed like when I was watching earlier, car, yeah, there you go, that car should have, there's, both those cars should have went into here, and they bypassed it. Let's take a look down here where we have more potential. Yeah, nobody's, there you go, now somebody's coming down here. So this one's empty. Oh, okay. Better. Definitely an improvement. Well, our backlog seems to be, actually it seems to be going in the wrong direction, right? I mean, like the backlog is cleared up all the way through here, but it's kind of increased over on this side of things. What is this? This one is servicing all sorts of, yeah, it's got a lot of little stations that it's servicing, so I don't really want to connect it up to anything else. And this one is servicing a lot of stuff as well. It's weird that it just took a paint up to there. Alright, oh, Oh, good. Well, that's all of our upgrades are done for this car. We already have. Yeah, we already have that. Weird. Why is that one green and all the other ones are orange? Isn't there something about power efficiency? Do I already have power plant efficiency? I already have it. I don't really need faster conveyors. That's not going to speed anything up. I mean, I guess it would speed the conveyors up, wouldn't it? I don't really see a need to specialize in those. More robots. Let's go more robots, because we've got a couple of stations where I wouldn't mind having additional robots in there. Good. Well, the drying is backing up a little bit again, which it should be. Drying is a slow process. This is clearing out, which is nice. That means we are keeping up. Now, if the cars would divert, they're diverting more correctly. So I'm not going to complain about it. And so I'm holding off on upgrading all the cars and stuff, because basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a list of which stations need to be upgraded, and I'll still upgrade them like in the next video where you guys can see what's going on, but for now I'm gonna hold off until then. It's real weird that it doesn't request more valves to come in until. Although one thing I can do is I can tighten up this, tighten up the line on that to where they'll get in a little faster too, because there's a more direct path that I could be taking to get there. We'll run it along this belt like that, and we'll just connect it up right there, and that'll get everything there just a little bit faster. It's not really going to make that much of a difference, but you know, every little bit helps. If it cuts 4 squares out, that's like a 3% increase or something for that specific line. So every, like I said, every little bit can help make a difference. And it definitely doesn't seem like having that stockpile gone is making any negative effect. We're still having quite a bit of inefficiency and getting the resources there. Well, we've gotten things backed up more than they were before. Oh, look at that, and it's clearing out down on this end, which is great. That means we are able to get our resources in a little more efficiently through there. The paint stuff is backing up, but it's not backing up horribly. I feel like right now our bottleneck is these resources. I don't know what the deal is with all these floating, all these little parts floating up. Is it showing me every part that's getting used? Doesn't seem like it used to do that. I didn't. I guess I did, because I seem to remember commenting on how close you can get in. It'd be fun if you could follow a car. Like if you clicked on a car and like it would just follow it down the line, so we could watch every step of the progress. Right. Well. Oh boy, look at all the excitement going on in that screen there. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this episode and the series as well. I really do appreciate all the views. Seems like a very popular series, and I'm happy that you guys are watching it. And I hope you're enjoying yourself while we are here. If you find that is the case, click on the like button down below and leave me some comments in the comment area. I'd love to hear from you guys. And I hope you will continue watching. We will see you on the next episode. Bye.